what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
U.S. Health Advisors wants you to know your health coverage does not have to be complicated. If you aren't happy with your insurance plan, there are unlimited and comprehensive medical plan options available to you right now. U.S. Health Advisors offers solutions which can't be found anywhere else. They can even offer you the ability to purchase more coverage if and when you need it. U.S. Health Advisors offers fair rates and no surprises. Sounds nice, doesn't it? If you'd like to know more, contact U.S. Health Advisors at 828-554-3032 or by email at daniel.bryant@ushadvisors.com.
I'm with the band. Music and interviews you're going to like.
Welcome back to I'm With the Band here on the Mesh Podcast Network. I'd like to thank all of our listeners for tuning in today. I'm With the Band. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, we invite musicians of all types to discuss their current projects, touring life, and their lives as musicians. We're excited to be back today with the great local Justin Clyde Williams here in studio today. Welcome, brother. I appreciate you coming. The crowd goes mild.
Very mild, man. Nobody's clapping here. How you doing, Moose? Man, good to see you.
I'm doing good, man. I'm so glad to have you here, man.
I'm glad to be on, dude. I'm glad we could work this out.
No doubt, man. No doubt. We met a couple months ago. I've known about you for a while because I know you're better, much better half, Emily. I've known her for a long time. And you and I mean, not to even get somber, but you and I met at a funeral.
We couldn't have met at a worse kind of situation, man. I'm glad. I was going to say something. I'm glad we're on some better ground.
Yeah, I'm glad we're real happy. We were Justin and I both were invited to play at our friend's Randall's funeral, and that was a crazy experience. I've never had a chance to sing at a funeral. I know you said you've played at a bunch, and that's
a bunch of them, man. And it's part of the trade with it, and it's hard to say no to, especially your friends. You know?
For sure.
And I don't like a funeral. Like I don't like the environment of it, like the whole just aura of it. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like your vibe, I guess. Like the whole vibe. I just feel weird, man. I stick out
Randall,
so hard,
bless his heart. I love that man to death. He was a music head from the jump, and he would have absolutely loved it. It was great for him. But we're gonna move on from that. But the I invited you on because I got to put my ears on Preamble.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
I'm giving you all them penny download streams on the iTunes.
Do it, man. I need it. That's it, man. I appreciate. I haven't seen one yet, but we'll wait for it to come around.
Don't spend it all in one place. Now,
I'm not going to, man. I have a big league chew addiction. So.
That's right. You can buy half a pack of that. But, they're really great, thoughtful, insightful songs, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's a lot of my earlier work. I've wrote so much more since then, and I'm just rushing, chomping at the bit to get all this stuff out of here. But I'm glad I'm sitting down and have a chance to really talk about Preamble, man. I've usually, even myself, people are like, man, it's so great. And I'm like, yeah, well, what about this one? Let's go on. But I want to try to pull the rein back and talk about this one, man. I'm glad you put your ears on it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the the forward-thinking musicianship, man. You're like, putting out something like that, and then you're automatically always thinking, like, what's the next one?
Exactly.
What's the next one? Because we get tired of playing them out.
Of course, yeah.
And it's one of those things where as much as they're appreciated by the people that that you're putting it out to, you're still always like, man, what's next? Let's do this thing. Let's put something else in.
Man, I did a good. I guess it's a double-edged sword, depending on the way you look at it, but. I recorded Preamble with a good friend of mine, Ben Rao, outside of Atlanta in his home studio, and I played everything on there except for fiddle, and we had a drummer. We contracted out drummings to a friend of Ben's, and so I listened to these songs more than I would if I was just singing them or just playing guitar on them. Like, I played bass on these things, and he added instrumentation into it, and we did everything in single cuts. Like I did my acoustic and my vocal at the same time, and then I came in and added anything else. And I'm not a bass player, and I'm not the best lead guitar player, so we're going back and forth over these songs, and I did everything in one take. I didn't want to punch anything in. I wanted it all to be as organic and live sounding as possible, which is hard to do when you don't have a band.
Right.
But
that's about probably one of the hardest.
I was burned out on these songs, but by the time we released them, and I was playing all this other new stuff, but it's been popping up like on Spotify and stuff, man, like in my daily mix with other stuff that I listen to, and it's really cool looking back on it now and then realizing, like, no matter what you release, man, you should be proud of it, regardless. That's your work, man.
For sure. And I was going to, you brought up the players on that album, too. And, man, I was super impressed about the musicianship that was on that thing. Man.
And we did no click tracks, no anything. And I never met Ken. Ken did the drums to no click track. He just listened to it and kind of jumped in wherever it went to. And I've known Matt for a couple of years now. He plays fiddle for the Piedmont Boys. I told him, I said, man, what would it take to get you to come out to Atlanta with me for a day? And he'd never heard these songs, like, to listen to practice. Like, he'd heard me play them at shows. He had no idea what songs we were recording, none of that. And it's on me. I don't know how the studio stuff works. I was like, he's a really good fiddle player, so he don't need to practice. We'll just do it like we do live.
Why
but
not?
He came in and knocked it out of the park, man. Matt is such a talent. But
you and I have a lot of similarities in that regard, man. Every show I do, it seems like I've got a different cast of characters, and the same thing's going to be coming for whenever I put out. It's like, hey, let's do this one. Hey, you've never heard this one before? Cool, let's play this out in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah, man. That's it.
Yeah, that's what keeps it fun. That's what keeps it going too. So with Preamble, if you guys go and I hope you do go buy it and all that good stuff, it's not a long one. There's 5 songs on that.
4
EP.
songs.
4
man.
songs in that cover,
EP,
right?
Yeah.
So
3 songs in a cover. Excuse me. Yeah, so 4 total.
Right, 4 total. Yeah. So is there a reason because of just people's short attention span? You think that was one of the reasons you did that, or is it just
me and Ben sat down and we discussed it very hard because we live in an age of music now where it's all about singles. Most everybody you see that's working, at my level and your level and maybe the next level above us, it's not financially responsible to put out an album when you don't have anything behind it. Like, just say on average, like I've talked to some guys and they're charging, around $1,000, $800 a song. Now do the math on that for a 10 or 11 song album is a guy that works at Starbucks and plays guitar Wednesday through Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt.
Luckily for me, I've quit all my day work and just play music full time, but it was more financially and time responsible just to do 4 songs, and I needed something out in the world that was my brand with my name on it because everybody that knows me for a vast cover knowledge, just playing in bars and learning anything that people want. I'll try anything,
sure.
Man, but I needed something like I'm trying to push my focus away from just being that bar quote unquote entertainer. I'm my own artist, man. I'm writing my own music, and I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying the world out of it. So we did these 4 songs, and as much as I wanted to do 20 songs or 15 songs or even just a standard length album, we kind of talked out of that. 1, for the sake of attention spans. 2, I just needed something out in the world so I could start working it and build a following and then go out and do, maybe a bigger project. But it scares me to death just being somebody that's releasing singles because you have so much to live up to when you're doing a single.
Yeah,
you don't have any time away from it. If you're trying to release something every 2 months, you got that weight on your shoulders all the time.
For sure.
But if you're just living your life and writing what you feel and going back, it's hard taking back and just taking time for this stuff. Like you said, you want to go to the next thing always. But
it's one of those things where just being somebody who plays music out for a living. Yeah, people are expecting you to play cover songs. That's just the way it is. And the venues that we play,
how you win them over, man.
You have to. Yeah. You absolutely have to. And you almost have to trick them.
Yeah.
You play 3 or 4 covers, you throw 2 or 3 originals in there and like, hey, what was that?
What was that? I wrote that one.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah. That's mine. Eat that. Take that.
I've really started looking at it differently now, but I used to get so pissed, man, whenever I'd be at a show and then playing original music and you got some drunk dude spilling a beer on you like, hey man, when he's Skinnered, and you're in the middle of one of your songs and it's like, buddy, you really, man, I talked to Chris Day and it was he said something. It was very insightful. I put it in my phone, but he said,
that man. He's a great dude.
He said musicians are emotionally entitled, and we are. God Almighty, we are. Like
guilty's charged.
Hell
brother.
yeah! Like we set up. You might set up for a full blown show, pyrotechnics, lights, and everything at the damn Denny's.
Yeah.
But you expect everybody in there eating with their family or meeting with their friends, whatever you're doing, to be paying attention to you. But 9 times out of 10, the people that are coming to these bar shows, they don't know who you are. They don't care who you are.
No, they don't. And
Even if they see you every week, like there's people that live in Hickory, man, that like come and see me all the time, know me, know I play music. Oh, man, you put an album out? And I'm like, yeah, 6 months ago. Like, where you at?
Welcome to my world. And, it's that thing. And with the age of streaming and the age of all, and the digital downloads and this, that, and the other thing, there's still something to be said for having something tangible to sell at your shows, for people to hold on to. Even if they don't even crack the seal on that son of a gun, they've got it, and then they're probably going to stream it.
Exactly.
But it's just, having that artwork and having, something just to hold on to, is just, people want that. People still want that.
My tattoo guy did Phil Franklin, Hillbilly Phil out of Dragon's Den there in Granite. He designed all my artwork for the CD itself. We even did artwork on the CD itself. I had Phil draw the skull logo, and I put it on shirts, and people ate those up, and they still want me to get more of them. But Phil's designed all but one of my T-shirt designs, everything art-wise. He's just been like a wealth of knowledge. But it's even cool being at this level, like having people that back you whenever you want to do something like this, and it's just... Even finding you, man, and building a friendship's been awesome. I mean, we live in the same town and had no idea about each other.
It's one of those things.
The internet, what this big rambling thing I was getting to is this whole streaming thing has made it possible for anybody to put out music. You don't have to have a record label or anything to... You don't have to have any kind of backing to put music out there in the world. You can do it all yourself, man, as long as you got a microphone. You don't even need that. You record it on your phone and put it out there if you wanted to. But it's completely changed the game, but I'm definitely more of a physical guy. I wanted to make like vinyl LPs of this thing, and just because it was like my first release, and just to be like just do a few of them for people that really wanted it.
And it's not too late, man. You can always go back.
I can still go back and do that, and where I distributed through, I could still get vinyl through them. I don't even have to go through anybody else.
Right.
So it's just, I guess, just a time thing. I don't know. Maybe put out a few more albums, and then 10 years bring it back on vinyl for the real hardcore cats that are still buying into my bullcrap.
There it is. Well, speaking of, we're going to listen to one right now off your album. And,
awesome, man.
And we hope all of our listeners enjoy this one.
This old heart's been pining for that straight and narrow, but the whiskey keeps me crooked on that path. The hard life swings long nights and you're tired of having the same old fight. This wedding band is too tight anyway, so I'm signing on that line. I should have been walking. Time has passed for sorry. It's too late for talking. I've packed my bags 'cause this road's at a crossing. I'm signing on that line. I should have been walking. sorry. It's too late for talking. I've packed my bags 'cause this road's at a crossing. And I'm signing on that line I should have been walking. I'm sure your so-called friends will say they called it. I'm signing on that line I should have been walking. I'm signing that straight line I should have been walking.
All right, that was the song off Justin Clyde Williams' brand new 4-song LP called
Yeah.
Preamble. And Justin, we were talking before we heard that about your position in music and how you go about it and how you get your music out there to the masses. And for the most part, I looked at your event schedule on the interwebs, and you're busy, man. You're busy, man.
I'm very busy, but I'm not busy at the level that I want to be. Like, I'm not playing in as many different places as I want to. But
Sure.
I'm beating the damn road up in this little tri-state area,
Yeah.
and just everything I do is by word of mouth, man. I'm not very good at social media and staying with that. You got times to post and all this other stuff they tell you for people to engage. But man, I'd rather not do that at all.
Yeah, I get it. And during my day job, we do that for a living, and there is a science to it, and there's a science to each industry about when you need and all that good stuff, and we can talk about that out of pocket. But there's just so much you can do to get things out there, and the best part about seeing my friends succeed in music and watching them evolve is how they market themselves. And I think you've got it figured out. I think that it's
Just loud, man.
Yeah,
Just loud.
Absolutely. Hey, man, it's all good. I think that it's something endearing about that. When you're loud and out front, you got a tendency to be real honest.
It's like I try to tell people that do this, man. It's like I'm sure you got people listening here that are on this local level, and people even further out from just out here around people that I know. But maybe the people that I'm going to talk about right here will listen to this and want you to know that I love every one of you. But Mitchell Clark, man, he's been playing around Hickory for before my time, probably before your time.
Yeah.
And he was a wealth of knowledge for me, man. He gave me a shot to go out and play live music, and then I've just made other relationships and kind of evolved from there, and now I'm doing my own thing. But I've been trying to help other people in that kind of matter too, man, like other musicians that were doing what I was doing. So as mad as I am about just playing around the Carolinas and then a random offshoot gig or filling in with somebody, dude, every time I stop and just look over my shoulder, there's somebody where I was a year ago or 6 months ago that would cut off their legs to have my job that day.
For sure, man.
And it's real damn humbling and it'll hit you in the face. So I got on that because first thing I said was I'm not happy. But man, I'm very happy. I'm eternally happy. I'm very thankful for what I have the ability to do. Like, I'm going to say talent, man. Anybody can play guitar with time, but yeah, I guess it is a talent. You know, playing around. I mean, I've put hours, man, into all that.
And what people don't understand, and what we like to bring to this podcast, is kind of like the inner sanctions of being a musician.
Yeah,
and, it's fun to go out and play gigs and all that, but like, there's a lot of work. I mean, it's
a whole lot of work.
It's just the work that people don't see is the hardest work. That's what's hard about that job.
They're not accounting travel, and then nobody's going to pick up a guitar, play it for a week, and go book a gig. Like, you have years of time into that.
Yeah.
And even I know that this is probably a far-fetched, but I mean, the concept will make sense. But imagine just you getting paid minimum wage alone for all the time that you put into honing your craft. That includes travel, maintenance, rehearsals.
I'd be 1,000 there.
I mean, exactly. I mean, just the time that goes into all this, man, is insane. And even coming up to minimum wage, like, and what you get paid for the gig, it's kind of a slap in the face, especially if you're if you're doing your own craft, if
for sure, especially if you're singing your own music.
That's a whole nother level. And I'm not trying to be some elitist, like, I write my own songs. But I still, man, if I play a bar show out here, even if I went and played Shooters tonight or somewhere in Hickory, I'd play a 4-hour show. And if you were lucky, I might play 10 originals unless you asked for one, and that's at a very high end.
Right.
People don't, and I write a bunch of sad songs anyway, man.
Right.
But people don't understand what goes into it, and it's like, well, yeah, we've been paying these bands that come in here $100 since the '70s, and it's like, well,
yeah.
What were you making in the '70s doing what you're doing?
For sure, no doubt. And something that doesn't get talked about a lot, and it is the musician wages.
Yeah.
I mean, now, granted, musicians talk about it a lot.
Yeah, and musicians are eternally damn lazy too. So
yeah, for sure.
You have to earn it, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's one of those things where you almost have to, you don't want to. You have to have serious conversations with bar owners, and venue owners, and everything else, to get what you think you're worth, and that's a hard conversation for a lot of people to have.
And I think just like 100 a man seems to be like, man, even other states that I went to on a whim and filled in with somebody, it'd be like the gig paid 100, but then somebody's paying you another whatever out of pocket to get you. Yeah, the 6 hours back home, and but it's just because I think it's easier when you're talking to these people because as an artist, especially booking yourself, you want these people to like you. You want to build that personal connection, and so it's like, yeah, man, like I'll do you a favor, and we'll just play this first one for $100 a man or whatever, and if you like it, we'll continue to work, and then they book you again, and they give you that $500 check, but you ain't got the stones to say, hey, man, I didn't agree to this. Right. But as an artist, if you want people to believe in you as an artist, you need to believe in back in yourself and quit taking these shit gigs that come up that you want to complain about. Like you want more money, man. Ask for more money and be able to back it whenever you get that more money is what you have to do.
Because you want the asses and seats. I mean, that's what they want. And I can see both sides of the coin. And I see both
sides. 100%.
It's one of those things where if you get a full band gig, five man in a band, paying them $500 and nobody shows up, well,
yeah, the house just lost $500.
Yeah, exactly. But and that's where it comes into. You almost have to become a team with those venue owners because you have to have the understanding where. The marketing falls not only on you as a musician to put it out there on your social and on your websites and everything. Like you need to really get in their ear about marketing as well because that's the age old adage is that that a lot of the venues don't even pump it.
No. It's like, well, he's the artist. We're paying him to come do the show, so I guess he's going to do all the promo and stuff too. A lot of these local holes, man, they're starting to realize that some of these places I play in, and just communication will go such a far way. Like, it's like say that, I'm just going to use Shooters as another example because it's here, but say that I split a bill with somebody at Shooters. Like, say me and you split a bill there, and we were trying to sell tickets for this thing or whatever. I make a Facebook event, you make a Facebook event, and Shooters makes a Facebook event. Why the hell wouldn't we just talk and all just host in on the same one?
Exactly.
And inviting people, man. Like, it's not just on these venues understand the market and all. You have to understand your peer group and your quote unquote fans or friends or whatever come out with you. Like, you gotta check these people, man. If I had people, God Almighty. I don't want to step. I think I'd be at a whole nother level musically if all the people that wanted some kind of merch from me or like some kind of give me would come to a damn show and support the art. It's staggering the difference. Like, you name hell yeah, I got 200 people interested in this, and then you get like 80 of them come through. But life happens. I get it all too anyway. But
and it's just
another two-sided coin.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to get people out of the house, man.
Yeah.
And with that. You want to be appreciative of those people that do come to your shows, and that's what's most important. And
back on being thankful, man.
Yeah,
that's
for sure,
100%. It's like I did. I played a show. I'm not going to name drop any places, but I mean it was a bar show, And I'm pretty well known, like in that bar. Not everybody in the town knows my name or nothing crazy like that. But whenever I come play there, people come.
Sure.
And they come hang out. Well, people came drunk already the last time I was there. And it was just, man, it was an uphill battle off the start. I'm doing one piece acoustic, and like I'm singing original music, and like no, I'm not seeing anything in it. Yeah. And then I see one guy, you know, probably 40 feet away on the whole other side of the house, and he is locked the hell in on me. Mm-hmm. And just hanging on to every word, and I can tell it in his face. Maybe he had really good mushrooms. I don't know. But he was looking at me and meant it. Like he was enjoying the show. And even these regular shows, like man, Shooters is a prime example. I do like I guess you'd call it a residency there a couple times a month. I bring in a new writer. Sometimes I bring in a different guy, but my focus there is original music, and we just go back and forth with stories and songs for 4 hours.
Yeah.
But Wednesday out there is pool league night, man. Everybody that's in there is shooting pool.
Right.
So you have 50 people in the back on pool teams. You might have 3 or 4 up front, and man, it'll make you tough as a performer doing stuff like that. But then when you walk through the back of the bar or go to the bathroom, that guy that's never left that pool table is like, hey, man, that song you did about this, that, man, that was awesome, dude. I'd like to hear that one again. And people really do listen, and you don't think they do. My buddy Will Hart is a prime example. He's one of those love-hate guys. I love him to death. I'd do anything in the world for him, but sometimes I want to headbutt him. But he'll be running around.
I got a few of those in my camp.
Be running around drunk and showing out, you know, out at the club or wherever you're at, and then you'll just be singing a song about whatever. That's Will. Let him do him. And then out of the blue, he'll turn around mid-conversation and like point at you and scream the line you're singing back at you. Like he's been listening the whole time. Everybody takes it in differently. That's that emotional entitlement that Chris was talking about, man.
Right.
Like, he said that in passing, and he said it in a way that didn't mean anything, but it stuck with me. And I've been looking at this whole thing totally different there on now. It's like I used to get real ornery on stage, cuss at people. I still do because it's part of what I do. You know, I'm a loudmouth, and I had to get really good at a trash talking game, especially singing sad songs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've kind of calmed down a little bit with it now because ate a little humble pie.
Sure, it's best served cold and delicious.
Yeah, cold and delicious, man. It's just like that. You're talking about this thing in the area and musicians and venues coming together, but you have to leave your area that you start in to grow as an artist, because I could play here in Hickory every day for the rest of my life, and nobody's really going to know me except for the people outside the Hickory area, or any musician for that matter. You have to travel, but I think a problem that we have is none of these people turn back around and come home. It's like me, prime example. I'm trying like hell to fit in with this Texas and Oklahoma, you know, that red dirt country scene. It's a lot of that stuff really influenced me. And I'd love to be associated with those guys. And I'm getting some online radio play out in Greenville, Texas and stuff, which is awesome. The Lucky Girls have been good to me. They like what I'm doing. But, you know, we're all at an opportunity now where, like, you know, nobody ever turns around to look back in their area. There's no reason why we can't have a Piedmont music scene or an Eastern North Carolina music scene to make an area that a destination for people to come to for music. There is no reason why we can't have, you know, big shows here. And
and you know, and I was having this conversation.
It takes working together, man.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, I've had this conversation with a lot of musicians in our area, and I've been lucky enough to get basically hooked up with a bunch of guys out in the you know, the Mooresville, Charlotte, you know, jam band scene, you know. And we do a bunch of big festivals and stuff like that out in, you know, Union Grove Way. Grover Fest is every year in June, and that's you know, stuff like that. But it takes, you know, big festival gigs like that, big shows like that, to draw in all the crowds from each individual band to be able to get that cross promotion.
Yeah.
And once you get that, I can't tell you how many people that, you know, have never heard of, you know, X band, you know, and then Y band's playing because of Y band. Now X and Y band are their favorite band.
Exactly.
You know, and that's just the way it is. And it's just nothing but, just being at the right place at the right time, getting those guys, getting
or even
everybody
just
together.
a proper bill.
Yeah.
Like you have to take these bar shows and stuff, but I think even us at an artist level, we need to look at everything more so as an event and not just a Wednesday night. And we need to look at each other as somebody that could help our scene instead of somebody that's after my Wednesday night.
Oh, for sure.
We've got, man, I got, there's musicians that I don't get along with just for the simple fact that we just don't like each other. Ain't even gave each other a chance.
Yeah.
But nothing's ever physically known about it. You know, you'll share a stage with them.
For sure. And it's that stupid alpha male competition.
Yeah, bullshit. there's always somebody that's trying to one up you with anything, but especially on this kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
But especially your art, man. Like it's so hard, especially sitting down with somebody that it's like I guess like somebody you look up to, like a benchmark you see, and then you sit down with them and they just, man, it makes me want to work harder. But then a lot of times it just makes you want to damn quit.
Yeah.
Emotionally entitled, baby. That's one of us.
It's the name of this podcast, Emotionally Entitled.
Emotionally entitled. I'm with the band and I have feelings.
But here's the thing, man. Like, if it's those feelings that make us the people we are. It's those feelings that make us write the stuff that we do.
I just feel there's a lot of running blind, man. And I really started realizing this after I met you. It's like you're, I don't know. I mean, if you've known Emily for a while, you're probably a few years older than I am, but not like another generation or nothing.
No, man.
It's crazy that we both work around here. And we never met face to face until the funeral. But it's cool how that happened, though. I mean, but we really, man, it's like everybody's got to get out of their own bubble. We're all running blind and just honing in on me, my project. But I don't want to say that South Carolina has been better to me than North Carolina, but I started playing out there. But I think that maybe it's just...
You say Greenville, right? In the Greenville, South Carolina?
Well, Greenville, Texas is playing my music. But
okay.
I play in Greenville, South Carolina a lot, the upstate of South Carolina.
Right.
And I don't think it's that South Carolina is necessarily more supportive of a live, original, like independent music scene. I just think that there's more of it that's working towards something better, and they're kind of working together, man. Like,
right.
I've split bills with some hard rock outfits out in that area, and I don't even know what you really categorize me as. I write country songs, I write rocky songs, but based off Preamble, I guess you call that a country record, but
yeah, it's one of those things where I hate to pigeonhole somebody to put them in a genre,
and especially now the way I'm writing, man. The most recent one I wrote a blues number, like a real jazzy blues number, a bunch of wild chords in it, and it's totally different. I took a totally different sight picture than I do when I normally write, and I guess whenever I quit thinking about myself, like some of my early writing stuff was just cut and dry honky tonk and screw the system and screw Nashville and all this other crap, and just feeding into the horse shit that like you see all over the internet. And my buddy Tyler, man, he said, promote what you love and just ignore what you hate. And that stuck with me. Tyler Hatley.
Yeah.
And since then, I kind of changed the outlook on it. And I don't really, when I sit down to write a song, I haven't looked at one as like, this is going to be a country song or this is going to be this song. I just either get my rhythm down or my vocal melody down and build off of it. And I've probably wrote 3 rock tunes and a couple blues numbers since I started looking outside of it from a country thing. I'm definitely more country influenced than anything.
Right. So,
but all these guys, man, it's like across genres. I got off on a sidebar, but out there in the upstate, we all work together and support each other, and it's crazy how it works. We got a big bill coming up in New Year's, and it's just, I think we could spread that little family thing we got going to the guys that are from the area I'm from, and the guys that are from the area these guys are starting from, but they're coming here because they're hungry and it works, and everybody's trying to build something out there through the Greenville area. And I mean, we got to spread that thing out, take over. Hell, the Carolinas, at least. I think we could do it.
Oh, for sure. And, we were kind of poo-pooing on a lot of venues, but, man, there's a lot of venues out there that are just really receptive to original live music.
There is.
I'll give you a prime example. Which shout out to my boy, Bo Norwood. Moose and Friends plays there. You play there in Old Dallas Brewery.
Bo ODB's been solid for. What are you doing tomorrow?
I don't know. We do
a writers' night out there every other Wednesday. Anybody that's going to be listening to this thing, I don't know when you're airing this, when it comes through, any of that's going to work.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, but we got Every other Wednesday, we do a writer's night at ODB, and if you look up Old Dallas Brewery, you'll see the Songwriter Showcase attached to their page. And there's been a lot of good music written in that parking lot, just putting these minds together, people that would never meet. Danny Kaye, he runs around out there at NODA, and he is totally different than anybody else that comes out there. But some of those more rocky chord structures and stuff spark ideas. Me and Tyler wrote a song in the parking lot. People wrote songs for the following week just as a competition of themselves to say, man, I need to bring something new out here. But, man, we got a little coal out there getting pretty hot. I think we got something good happening out there at ODB, man. Bo's been really good. There's a few venues I know of in South Carolina for you to reach out to, even some people listening, man. Red's Watering Hole in Gaffney's been really supportive of original music. Tribble's Bar in Piedmont, South Carolina. It's a haul off, but if you want to tell your people that you're going on tour, by God, call Ken Tribble. They book everything out there, man. They do drag shows, the works. But
That's crazy.
They're supportive of everything out there at Tribble's and Reds, man. That's the people out there at Reds is like my second family, dude. We do private parties for them, Thanksgiving parties and stuff, and it's just those folks have kind of welcomed me into their life, man, the musicians and the fans alike, and it's just there's no reason why we can't have a little community like that everywhere.
For sure. And it just takes a little gumption in doing it, man.
Yeah, and I think we as artists need to work together, need to work with these venue owners and stuff. I just found out recently that there's some kind of listening room here in Hickory. Under the old theater or something. So I caught it in passing. I don't know anything about it.
Right.
But why don't we talk about doing something there, for like original music coming through?
Sure.
But it just takes talking to the right people, man.
It does. And there's a lot of folks in Hickory that are dying to have stuff like that. We went to my wife and I. We got invited to this. I guess it was like basically the first show of this music society called the Bird Song Music Society, and some folks in the Hickory area are putting that on. They had a great band come and play Hawktail a couple weeks ago, and they're looking at really starting to bring some original regional music in there and doing some cool shows like that too. So
that'd be cool, man.
Hopefully we're going to drag some people out of the cave and want them to listen to some of this.
Man, I played a little spot out in Denver, North Carolina, and this was right after Preamble released, and I was like on a little high horse. Like my work had paid off, it was done, and it was time to just, sit back, don't have to worry about recording. But that's where your real work begins. And man, this guy came out, and I've been playing, this little Tri-County area here, Caldwell, Catawba, Burke, since I started gigging, in 2014. And this guy's like, man, you came on my Spotify yesterday, and then I looked you up, and it blew my mind that you came out to Catawba County, man. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. And I'm like, where the hell you been the last 5 years? maybe if I was good at social media, maybe we would have built a relationship a while back.
There you go.
But it takes something from everybody. We can sit here and gripe and moan about these growing pains all day, but you sit down and storm on this stuff for every one thing that I can think of that a venue owner can do or a bar can do or whatever can do. I can think of 10 things that I can do to make my life easier. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's really hard to look back at yourself. It's easier to blame somebody else. You know what I mean? We shift the blame on. It's easy to complain as a musician whenever there's people that hate their jobs and love playing guitar on the weekends.
Yep.
But it's this is cool, man. I'm glad we're doing this.
Oh, absolutely. And we appreciate you coming in. And, this is a kind of a good segue to, we're able to do this podcast and we're able to have these conversations with help from our sponsors. And, if you are interested in becoming a sponsor of this show or any of the other shows on the Mesh Network, it's a great opportunity to reach a really target audience. It's super low cost. And for any information that you need, you can go to themesh.tv/advertise, or you can send an email to info@themesh.tv. But right now, we're going to listen to another song off Justin Clyde Williams' new album, Preamble.
Hey. running west from a wicked wind, running till I find where the end begins. Since the truth didn't set me free, I cover my eyes so I can't see. This wound I have, time won't heal. What I tried to hide has been revealed. I'm the wound, time won't heal. When it all went up in smoke, the camel's back finally broke. I swallowed my hope and I ditched my pride. Words ain't much, but I'm on your side. This wound I have, time won't heal. What I tried to hide has been revealed. I'm the wound, time won't heal. Bring me shelter from myself. I'll surrender everything else to you. This wound I have, time won't heal. What I tried to hide has been revealed. Guilt is a bruise, time will heal. Sorrow is a scrape, time will heal. Remorse is a cut, time will heal. I'm the break, time won't heal. I'm the scar, time won't heal. I'm the wound, time won't heal.
And we're back. Another good one. It was so good to have you come in, man. I'm so excited we got to have this conversation and air all of our thoughts out to those that are
Right, man.
Are out there for us. And man, we need to get on a bill soon. We need to do this. We need to do this for real.
I think it'd be cool, man. One good thing I found about this area is like you have a dense area of musicians that just out and play, and I found like. And there's 6 or 7 bands that run around the same holes I ran in when I started, but they're all the same members. It's just guys split up doing different stuff. And I got in on that circuit, and you get your chops up and get working out, man. But I love playing any kind of music. Stylistically, you know, me and you have similarities and differences.
Oh,
but
sure.
I think we could have a ball together, man.
No
I
doubt.
think that'd be cool.
Hey, real quick, where can people find your album and you and all that good stuff?
You can find me and my album at a live show, and you can find the schedule for that on my website, JustinClydeWilliams.com, Facebook at Justin Clyde Williams Music, Instagram at hillbilly_minstrel with an I, as in a medieval bard, I guess. I don't know how the whole
Right on.
deal is with it. I just want to get phrasing right here.
Tell me a little bit about the Odds and Ends tour that you guys are getting ready to run.
Oh, man, this is we're starting this up at the 14th, and the first date's going to be at ODB, but some of us, we do a blanket tour, blanket drive in December around the holidays, a Christmas tour, but a lot of people collect blankets for homeless shelters and stuff like that, but we decided for the Odds and Ends that we want to collect the stuff that you'd forget on vacation. The stuff you got to pick up and stuff like little odd and end items that, you know, would be really helpful for somebody that's it's not necessarily living outdoors, but, you know, that's doesn't have the comforts that, you know, a lot of us do. So stuff like toothbrushes, socks are really important. Socks, they say, are the most needed and the least donated. But we're going to do underwear, socks, toothbrushes, women's hygiene stuff. Man, multi-tools would be cool. Like we got a guy that lives in our Bethlehem community. I can't remember his name offhand, but I've talked to some folks about him. I've been meaning to catch him, to talk to him, to maybe see some things that would benefit his lifestyle, the way he lives. But he lives the way he lives by choice. And I haven't had a chance to really talk to him. And we kind of put together a list. I got it right here. I'll just kind of shout out some of the things we're collecting here. Just kind of give you a general idea.
And you're doing a bunch of different dates with this.
We are, man. Right? The 14th, we're at ODB. The 15th.
Of November.
Yeah, of November. So the 14th of November, we're at Old Dallas Brewery in Dallas. The 15th, they're going to be at Big Al's Pub in Mooresville. I'll be at the Evening Muse with Nick Dittmeyer and the Sawdusters. The 16th will be at Beantown Tavern in Matthews. The 17th, The Turn in Denver. The 19th, Queen South in Waxhaw. The 20th will be right here in Hickory at Shooters. The 21st will be at Tribbles in Piedmont, South Carolina. 22nd, Lake Bowen Country Club in Inman, South Carolina. The 23rd, we're coming to Mortimer's in Charlotte. And then we're taking a couple days off and doing a pre-Thanksgiving. The big shebang out at Red's here in Gaffney. But we're collecting socks, underwear, ponchos, body wipes, feminine hygiene, travel-size toiletries, gift cards. For those of y'all that can't do anything and want to bring me cash, I plan on digging it out and putting it into gift cards and splitting $20, $25 gift cards to put out. But I want to take all this stuff to the Salvation Army if it's in the towns that we're at. But I want to benefit the town specifically that we're playing in and look for the best place to go through there, be it Salvation Army or whatever they have to help the less fortunate.
Right on,
gift cards, snack foods, flashlights, combs, brushes, toenail clippers, toothbrushes, emergency blankets. But
that's fantastic.
Blankets are common, man. But like I said, just maybe some stuff that like you forget about when you went on vacation. I forgot socks and stuff before, and it sucks. But imagine not having socks. In November here, all I know in Catawba County and Alexander County these last few days has been damn frigid.
Yeah,
so think about these folks, man. That's what we're trying to do.
For sure. And Moose and Friends, if you're available on Thanksgiving night, man, we're actually doing our annual benefit for the...
Where y'all doing that at?
The Hickory Tavern.
Okay. Awesome, man.
It's our umpteenth some odd year, and we decided that we were going to start doing a benefit type situation. And
it'd be cool, man.
Yeah, for sure. And that's going to benefit the Hickory Soup Kitchen downtown. So if you got... And that's a canned food drive for that event. So if you're in town and want to get away from your family on Thanksgiving night, come to the Moose and Friends show. If maybe Justin Clyde Williams will even show up.
Yeah, man. I actually took Thanksgiving off, so
there you go.
Maybe I'll swing by.
Yeah, for sure.
First time in 5 years. I haven't played Thanksgiving.
My mom's waiting for that day. But, buddy, I appreciate you coming in. Thanks again for spending your time with us.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
You're going to be on the Fried Pod with John Reap coming right up.
Yeah,
too.
I am, man. We're going to see what we can get into.
I hear that. Well, cool. Well, again, if catch Justin on at a live show real soon. And thank you all again for listening. This has been I'm With the Band here on The Mesh.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.